What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman and Ben Rasa here for Awesemo.com, and we are back with the breakfast menu served up by BetMGM. It's the place where you can turn big plays into paydays, and we have a deal for you. All you have to do is deposit at least $10 into BetMGM using the link in the description of this video. You will get 3 free months of Awesemo Plus Platinum. Covers everything that we do in daily fantasy, season-long fantasy football, and in betting for all sports. Plus, all new customers start with a risk-free bet of up to $1,000 upon deposit. Terms and conditions apply. So now hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live, because it is Tuesday and we're talking basketball.
3-game slate was 4 down to 3, and we've been on a good, not going to jinx us, don't worry, but we've been on a nice little run on Tuesdays here. Last week went very, very well. I like these little slates, a little more digestible, obviously with Odd Shopper, less options, but you can really hone in on each bet. You know the drill. You kick things off. I'm the meat in the sandwich, and then you'll round out our 3 picks. So what are you getting things started with?
My first bet, which honestly, this if we were talking strips of bacon, this is probably like a 2-stripper right now. We're going into the player prop market. Scottie Barnes over 7.5 rebounds. It's minus 104 right now. That is the largest expected ROI on Odds Shopper at this moment. I have Scottie Barnes in this matchup projected for 10 rebounds, way north of the 7.5 rebound line that we are looking at for a couple reasons. One, the Raptors just jam their starters into games constantly. Scottie Barnes is going to play 36 minutes basically no matter how this game goes, and upwards of 40 if it's ultra competitive. 2, this is a fantastic rebounding matchup. The Brooklyn Nets are the worst offensive rebounding team in the league, 22% offensive rebounding rate, which means if you're not getting an offensive rebound, you're giving up a defensive rebound. Very easy to acquire defensive rebounds here against the Nets. It doesn't help the opposite way either. They are 20th in defensive rebounding. So when it comes to rebounding just in general, the Nets are sort of just punting rebounds. That to me looks great for Barnes, and that is why I have him projected so highly above that 7.5. So Scottie Barnes, we're calling it 2 strips of bacon here.
Yeah, I mean, this is an easy example of why I like going to Odd Shopper. I would not have Scottie Barnes on my card. Went there, immediately saw our projection is way different than the line right now. The juice is more than reasonable. It's only minus 105. Like, you're not laying minus 140, minus 150 or something, and you have them, what'd you say, like 10-ish?
I got them 10 on the dot right now.
Yeah, so that's a couple rebounds above this. Obviously, as we said last week, and we were proven correct, this line will probably move throughout the day. I have a feeling that people will see these things, jump on them, so you want to lock this in if you can get it. I'm going to take a shot in the middle. I've been doing this. I've been going to a side, and this one is a pure, if you lose this bet, you wonder, what am I doing? Because I'm taking the Blazers at home, plus 2.5. That's part of it. There's a 2.5 out there, and that is a very, very good line against the Phoenix Suns. Now, when you look at things, it's not good. The Blazers have lost 8 of 9. The Suns are quite good this year. Everything sets up on paper where you're just like, well, this looks like a mismatch, all those things, but all the peripherals go to Portland. Phoenix played last night on the road. Now they're traveling to Portland on a back-to-back. Portland they're 1-11 on the road. They are 10-5 at home. Clearly, this is what you want. It looks bad recently. They've had a lot of guys injured, including Lillard, who should be. I'm expecting him to be there tonight, put in a monster effort. Everyone besides McCollum. I like all that. The one caveat, and do I think this is going to change? I honestly don't know. If you look into the numbers, the Blazers have been getting absolutely destroyed defending the 3-point line, dead last in the league. In the last couple games, they have been better. Coming against the Phoenix team that shoots pretty well from behind the arc, they have to limit that. I think they're going to do an okay job. I think it looks a lot worse, and to me, this is one the line actually tells the story. You look at these teams on paper, you would think, oh, Phoenix should be a big-time favorite. It's just 1.5 points. I found plus 2.5 out there. I think at home, back-to-back for Phoenix, Lillard and them getting a little healthier. Blazers are going to play well tonight. I think they can knock them off in a minor upset.
Well, as someone that thinks that Dame Lillard is the best play in DFS right now on both FanDuel and DraftKings, I'm happy to be tailing Portland. Portland was also the top 4 plays in my contenders video on DraftKings today. That's what the salaries are lining up. So Team Portland for me. Team Raptors as well. So we're going back to the player prop market. We're going back to the rebound props as well for the exact same line. Pascal Siakam over 7.5 rebounds. Now, there's a little bit more juice on this one, but this is still the second largest expected ROI on OddsShopper at the moment that I pulled them. I have him projected for slightly less rebounds than Scottie Barnes. I have him at 9, but that's still north of the 7.5 line by a pretty significant margin. It makes me a little bit nervous to take an over prop for two guys on the same team. There are only so many rebounds to go around. For every one that Scottie Barnes gets, that just means that Pascal Siakam can't get it. But I think there are going to be a lot of rebounds to go around in this one. Siakam and Barnes both lining themselves up to be in a position to go north of that 7.5 mark. I would have liked to see a slightly better like juice number on Siakam. I could potentially see Siakam's line staying about where it is and Scottie Barnes is getting worse. But either way, there's so much. I have both guys so far ahead. 9 for Pascal Siakam, 10 for Scottie Barnes, that we're talking about 19 total rebounds and the line is 15 total rebounds. So I'm willing to take both sides. It does make me a little nervous. If you guys are nervous about taking two guys from the same team for a rebound prop, I would lean more towards Scottie Barnes than Pascal Siakam. You don't have to worry about like ownership on this. You could play the chalk play in this one. But I have no problem grabbing them both here just because of how good of a rebounding matchup it is against the Nets.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that because sometimes you see as a team, sometimes you see this with the Spurs. I don't know why they stand out. When you've got like Murray and White, their assist props, you both go over and it's just like you're cannibalizing each other. But sometimes in these good matchups, it's just a volume aspect. And I think you're still able, you kind of look at it, the way I kind of see it, it's like, okay, the majority of the time you split. Nothing really happens. But if you're going to go 0-2 or 2-0, you're much more likely to go 2-0 than 0-2 on these. And that is, I think, where the value comes in.
I would be, barring injuries, I would be shocked that both of these bets lost.
Exactly. And that's where I think, okay, you're willing to say, I could eat a small loss on a VIG a lot of the time, because I think more often than not, they grab more than, 15 cumulative and it's dispersed properly than neither of them getting to 8 rebounds.
Yeah, like you're going to see a lot of like 10 and 5 in these situations. And to me, that's fine for me right now because I think there's a lot of cases where you get 10 and 10. That'll work.
I like it.
Another breakfast menu in the books. Again, like, subscribe, notification bell. This is the breakfast menu served up by BetMGM.